really cool decision, January 2023 from the state of Ohio. It's Supreme Court. This individual was a sovereign citizen, and he was in criminal court, surprise, surprise, challenging jurisdiction of the judge to hear his case against him, surprise, surprise. So then he appealed the judge's decision to what's called a writ of mandamus, however you want to pronounce it, which is an order to be issued from a higher court, the appellate court, telling the trial court, hey, you need to do something. It's not really technically an appeal as you would normally know an appellate situation, because for these writs, normally the other side doesn't have to respond, but it's like stopping the trial for a higher court to tell the trial court what to do. So here he says he challenges the trial court's jurisdiction. Court of Appeal dismissed it, and the state Supreme Court said, yeah, this is ridiculous. It says Furr was a criminal defendant. He filed a motion to dismiss the case against him based on his reservation of rights under the infamous 1-308 of the Uniform Commercial Code. And I like how they quoted it down here. And all this is a reservation of rights under a contract for, perfecting rights on personal property and things like that, where you say, look, okay, I'll do what you say, but I'm not giving up my rights. And the idea is to facilitate resolving disputes quickly. The UCC is very flexible about that, although it does have a lot of ammunition as well. But the idea, too, is that the parties can somewhat agree and iron it out without having to go through the battles of a court. They always take this thing out of context. They always apply it wrong. You can never apply it in the criminal context either and say, I don't have a contract with the court under the UCC. The UCC has nothing to do with the court system in terms of it being a party to a contract. And also that there's the color of law defense under 241 and 242, where I think that's an official that's abusing their authority and based on a protected class. All bullshit. These arguments are characteristic of a sovereign citizen defense. By invoking 1-308, the so-called sovereign citizens contend that they preserve their common law rights and exempt themselves from federal and state law. And this is kind of cool here. We've got actually 2-11-CV means it's a federal case. I'm going to pull that one. WL means Westlaw. This was the date of publication, January 15, 2013, Du Bois versus Cashett. Said to the trial court judge, I know better than you, and I'm going to have an appellate court order you to dismiss my case for lack of jurisdiction. Anyway, the judge was having none of it. The judge dismissed his motion because his motion was completely improper. Because the judge did not respond to the mandamus petition, and he's not required to, the sovereign citizen then took it upon himself to file another false document called a writ of default judgment, and then a writ of summary judgment. These are all things that would happen in civil court, not criminal court. But they explain, Ohio courts of appeal have routinely rejected as baseless these sorts of sovereign citizen challenges to a trial court's jurisdiction in criminal cases. And then again, they're citing to the different cases within the different districts of Ohio. The UCC has no bearing on criminal subject matter jurisdiction. Well, what a surprise. And no contract between the criminal defendant and the prosecuting jurisdiction is necessary for a trial court to obtain personal jurisdiction over the defendant. So once again, when they say, I don't have a contract with you, I've revoked my contract, I'm not participating in your contract. There's no contract to even consider in criminal court. If you're in their region and you commit a crime, you have fallen into their jurisdiction. It's just that simple, unless there's like maybe you got immunity because you're a sovereign diplomat. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you like these, let me know so I can continue to find them. I find them pretty interesting, and hopefully it will get the word out to the sovereign citizens, the ones that are they'll actually listen, and we'll say, dude, don't spend the money for that guru to give you this official looking bullshit that you can pull out and wind up in federal court or wind up in state court, wind up with tax problems. I'm hoping, the word gets out. And one way to really hit them is give them opinions from these higher courts. Anyway, thanks, guys. And thanks for your support of the channel.